You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. Today, we're moving to the third core principle from our book, The Promise of Certainty, which is principle number 3. You can't buy peace of mind after the fact. You know, I talk to a lot of folks who think of insurance like a fire extinguisher, something they only want to think about when they see smoke. But the reality of stewardship is that the foundation has to be poured long before the clouds gather. Let me tell you about a client of mine named Wayne. When Wayne first came to me, he was frustrated. He was focused entirely on the bottom line price. But as we went through our process, I started asking those annoying deep dive questions. I discovered that Wayne had a collection of antique 100-year-old firearms stored in 2 gun safes in his garage. We had a hard conversation, and I finally convinced him to pay just a little bit more for the proper specialized coverage. Fast forward 3 months, a fire started in his garage. The fire started from a battery charger that had been left plugged into an electrical outlet. The heat from the fire was so intense that it completely melted his 1970s Ford Bronco. It was a total loss. But here is the promise of certainty in action. Because we had added that specific coverage for his gun safes beforehand, every single heirloom was restored. That $2 million claim also rebuilt his house completely. Wayne didn't have to scramble or beg to restore what was lost. The foundation had been built long before the flames sparked. I saw this same truth play out in the world of finance back during the 2008 housing market collapse. I'll never forget it. I watched the giants at Lehman Brothers fall exactly 1 week after they spent a bunch of money taking our finance team out to dinner. The chaos surrounding the market collapse felt like the world was ending. And for me, it almost did. Because of my role at a hedge fund, my services were no longer needed and I was laid off. But because I had been preparing for a downturn long before it hit, I not only survived the crash, but thrived through it. By the time I got a new job several months later, I had more money in my bank account than I had the day I was laid off. The time to build your rock-solid foundation is before the storm. For your church, you do not want to be sitting in a deposition figuring out your liability limits in the middle of a lawsuit. You don't want to be reading the fine print on flood coverage while the water is rising in the fellowship hall. Peace of mind isn't something you can buy on the way to the courthouse. It's something you build through wise preparation today. Stewardship means making the hard decisions now so you can lead with peace later. If you're ready to check the foundation of your church's plan, connect with our team at insurancefortexans.com. To dive deeper into Wayne's story and this principle, download your free copy of The Promise of Certainty at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, your church's mission is too important to leave to chance.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.